Have you ever stopped and asked yourself, why do some people seem to radiate happiness even in the middle of chaos? Isn't it amazing how they handle stress like it's a passing breeze, while others seem to get crushed under the same weight? This isn't luck. It isn't luck. It isn't just genetics. It's a mindset, one that harnesses the incredible force of positive thinking. It's not some fairy tale, feel-good fluff. It's real. It's practical. And yes, it's powerful enough to transform lives. Quote, right now, somewhere in the world, someone is turning their life around simply by changing how they think. Could that someone be you? Every second you're awake, your brain is feeding you a story, an internal narrative that defines how you see the world. Now imagine what happens when that story is filled with hope, optimism, and determination. Your brain isn't just an organ. It's a powerhouse of possibility. And when it's guided by positivity, it becomes your greatest ally. Suddenly, obstacles turn into challenges you want to overcome. Failures become lessons. Fear becomes fuel. Doesn't that sound like a superpower worth having? Let's talk about energy for a moment. Ever been around someone who just drains you? Now flip that. Think of someone who walks into a room and lights it up with just a smile. That's not coincidence. That's energy, contagious, vibrant, positive energy. And that energy doesn't come from their situation. It comes from their mindset. Their thoughts shape their presence. You feel it. You absorb it. And guess what? You can be that person. You can be the one who lifts others up by simply choosing to see light instead of shadows. You may ask, what if I'm not naturally optimistic? Let's clear that up. It's not about pretending everything is perfect when it's not. It's about choosing where to place your focus. You acknowledge the storm, but you believe in the sunrise. It's a conscious, repeated choice. And yes, it is a skill, a mental muscle that grows stronger every time you use it. The more you choose empowering thoughts, the easier it gets. This is science, not fantasy. Take a moment and reflect. How many times have you talked yourself out of something before even trying? We all do it. Our brains are wired to protect us from danger, but sometimes they protect us from growth too. That inner voice that whispers, we're not good enough, or this will never work, that voice, it's lying to you. It's stuck in survival mode. But you were meant to thrive, to evolve, to speak back with certainty. I can do this. I will do this. Let's dive into how this works biologically. Your thoughts aren't just fleeting clouds. They trigger chemical reactions. Positive thoughts release dopamine and serotonin, the feel-good hormones. They reduce stress hormones like cortisol. When you think positively, your body responds. You feel calmer, stronger, more in control. That's not magic. That's neuroscience. Your thinking can literally rewire your brain through neuroplasticity. Think about that. Your thoughts shape your brain. Isn't that mind-blowing? Consider this: what you focus on, you amplify. If you constantly focus on problems, you'll see more problems. But if you choose to focus on solutions, on lessons, on possibilities, your reality starts to shift. This isn't just a motivational quote slapped on a coffee mug. It's how your brain filters the world. You become what you dwell on. So why not dwell on hope, on courage, on the incredible resilience that lives within you? It's time to take back control of the lens through which you see your life. People often underestimate the ripple effect of their mindset. One positive thought can lead to a better decision, which leads to a better outcome, which creates a better mood, which inspires better action. It's a chain reaction. And it starts with single intentional thought. That's how powerful this is. You can flip the script of your day, sometimes your whole life, with one mental pivot. One choice to say, this is hard, but I've got this. That's not just optimism. Transformation in motion. Psychologically speaking, positive thinking builds resilience. When you believe you can recover from setbacks, you bounce back faster. That's been shown time and time again in research. Positive thinkers are less likely to suffer from depression. They have stronger immune systems. They live longer. Yes, really, studies have found that optimistic people tend to live significantly longer than pessimists. So the question isn't, does it work? The question is, why wouldn't you start now? Still skeptical? Let's go deeper. Think about people like Nelson Mandela, Oprah Winfrey, or Viktor Frankl. These aren't just feel-good stories. These are human beings who endured unthinkable challenges. Prison, abuse, Holocaust camps, and yet they chose their mindset. They chose to believe in hope, in meaning, in forward momentum, and that choice didn't just save them. It became their legacy. If they could find light in the darkest of places, what's stopping us from doing the same in our daily lives? Do you ever catch yourself waiting for something outside of you to make you happy? A promotion, a person, a miracle moment. Here's a truth bomb: happiness is an inside job. You could have all the success in the world and still feel empty if your thoughts are poisoned with doubt and fear. But flip the script, fill your mind with empowering beliefs, and even the smallest victories start to feel like milestones. Isn't it wild how everything changes when you change? That's the power you carry every single day, no permission needed. People often mistake positivity for perfection. But real positivity, it's raw, it's real. It admits, I'm struggling, and follows it with, but I'll keep going. That's strength. That's courage. Positive thinking doesn't blind you to pain. It gives you the strength to face it without drowning. It's not about denying the rain. It's about dancing through it because you know the sun will shine again. So ask yourself, Obed, what's stronger, the storm outside or the belief within? Let's talk about failure, that dreaded word. Society trains us to fear it, to hide from it. But positive thinking flips its script completely. Failure becomes feedback. It becomes a guidepost. It says, hey, that didn't work. Try again, but smarter. Imagine how freeing that is. No shame, no guilt. No shame, no guilt. Just growth. Every failure becomes part of your training ground, part of your story. The difference between winners and quitters: the winners never let failure define them. They let it refine them. Imagine waking up every morning and asking yourself, what's one good thing I can focus on today? That tiny shift sets off a wave. Gratitude begins to surface. You see beauty where you once saw routine. You feel hope where you once felt heaviness. It's not magic. It's an awareness. It's attention. Your life reflects what you choose to magnify. So why not magnify the moments that matter? Why not create the mood you want to live in rather than waiting for it to appear out of nowhere? Your brain is always listening. Every thought is a command. Think you're weak. You'll act like it. Think you're capable. You'll start to behave like it, even if you don't believe it fully yet. That's the secret. Your brain doesn't distinguish well between imagined and real experiences. So feed it thoughts that build you. Use the power of visualization. Speak to yourself like you would speak to someone you love. Because the words you say in your head, they're building the world around you, brick by brick. Let's shift to relationships. Positive thinking doesn't just affect you, it touches everyone you interact with. People are naturally drawn to hope, to joy, to light. When you choose positivity, you lift others just by existing in their space. You inspire, you influence, you lead without trying. And you don't have to fake it, you just have to believe in the possibility of good even in others. Imagine if more people did that. What kind of world would we create? You have that impact. Yes, you do. There's a story about a farmer who always looked at the bright side. When his crops were destroyed in a storm, he said, well, now I've got a reason to try something new. When his tools broke, he smiled, a time to learn how to do it by hand. People thought he was crazy until they saw that he always found a way to win. Was it luck? No, it was mindset. That story, it's not fiction, it's how winners live. They don't escape challenges, they simply refuse to let them have the final word. We live in a world addicted to negativity. The news sells fear, social media thrives on outrage, but you don't have to buy into it. You can unplug from that chaos and plug into truth. Truth like, you are enough, you are capable, you are becoming. That shift in perspective can be a radical act of defiance in a world telling you to stay small. Positive thinking is a rebellion. It's saying, I see the darkness, but I choose the light. Now that's power. That's real strength. Science has shown that optimistic people perform better at work, recover faster from illness, and even earn more money. Why? They believe their efforts matter. They see opportunities where others see roadblocks. They're not blind to risk. They're just unwilling to let fear paralyze them. Doesn't that make you want to shift your thinking, even just a little? It's not about being naive. It's about being empowered. It's about showing up for yourself and saying, let's make today count. So I'll leave you with this. Positive thinking doesn't mean life gets easier. It means you get stronger. It's a quiet daily choice, a whisper that says, try again. A nudge that says, you've got more in you. It's a voice that doesn't scream. It believes. And when you start to believe in yourself, truly believe, you change everything. Not in one day, but every day. One thought at a time. So the next time doubt creeps in, smile and say, "Oh, not today. Today I choose hope. Today I choose power." There's a silent war that rages in the minds of millions. Every day. It's not a war fought with weapons, but with whispers. You'll fail again. Sound familiar? These thoughts creep in so quietly we barely notice them until they're running our lives. But here's the truth. You don't have to obey them. You can challenge them. You can say, "Oh, no, I choose a different path." And that single moment of mental rebellion, that's where freedom starts. That's the spark that flips the entire story. Think about this. How many times has your day been ruined? Not by events, but by your reaction to them. One rude email, one delay, one unexpected challenge. And suddenly the day feels heavy. But what if you could catch that moment, pause, breathe, and choose a different response? That's the power of positive thinking. It gives you space. It gives you choice. It doesn't remove the chaos, but it gives you the strength to rise above it. That's not weakness. That's the deepest kind of control. Now, this isn't about smiling through pain or pretending to be happy when you're not. It's about honoring your emotions, but not letting them chain you. You can feel sad and still choose hope. You can feel fear and still choose to take the next step. That's the real magic. Positivity that coexists with honesty. That's where resilience is born. That's where you stop being a victim of your emotions and start becoming the author of your own response. You're not made of glass. You're forged in fire. Let's be real. Positive thinking isn't easy. Some days it feels like climbing a mountain with no end. Hey, growth hurts. Healing takes time. You're allowed to struggle. But what you're not allowed to do is give up on yourself. Not now. Not after everything you've survived.